Circumstances conspired that it was very difficult to make a video log last night, so I'm trying to make it this morning. I'm not going to have time to do everything I wanted to do, but just do a quick report. Had maybe 3,500 people there for the first day. That was expected. It was just a 9/11 memorial rally and then a brief march. But that one little crowd had a lot of impact. And the liberal news media is full of it. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, Christian, Jews, Muslims, didn't matter. Young, old, they were all there. They were all in the crowd. They were all part of this process of bringing our country back to what it used to be, back to what it should be, what it will be when we're done with it. And the reaction of the people on the road is not what we expected, not what I expected at least. We expected a level of hostility, but there was a great deal of support, and regardless of race or creed. I saw a guy driving a taxi wearing a turban, so I assume either a Sikh or a Pashtun Muslim, but he was driving along our route where the marchers were, and he stopped and was honking the horn and waving and USA, USA, USA. It was pretty amazing. There were a lot of great things that happened there that I don't have time to recount, but the demonstrations were entirely peaceful. There was no violence. There was no anger. There were incidences where some leftist infiltrators did try to instigate us to do something, presumably to discredit the movement. There were anti-Semitics in the crowd, at least one that confronted me, but I managed to keep my cool, and my friends backed me up, so there was no incident, and we had a camera, so anything that did happen would have been recorded. There were 9/11 truthers that flitted around the edges of the crowd. They never could get in the crowd and stay because we had the field booked, but they did move through the crowd, chanting slogans, shouting things, carrying banners. It was pathetic and insulting and truly demeaning to those who lost their lives that they did that today, or yesterday really, but that they did that on 9/11 during a memorial service. But I am proud to say no one in the crowd, including myself, reacted other than the occasional cry of shame, which I led a few of those. But no one reacted violently, no one tried to get rid of them. We just kept an eye on them, made sure they weren't doing anything illegal, made sure they didn't instigate anyone into a fight, which no one reacted at all, so it was all peaceful. We had some amazing speakers. Stephen Baldwin, he was up on Hollywood actor, he was up on the stage, he did some speeches. Bob Basso, we also had some very great musical performances. Lots of great artists, country and rock, great stuff. All very uplifting, patriotic music. Some of it very, very moving. Jordan Page, for one, was there. The song he did called Liberty moved a lot of people in the crowd to tears. It was truly impressive. Now, the march today is expected to number in the tens, possibly hundreds of thousands. We don't know. The 828 rally, a lot of people were not coming to this rally, but due to that rally, they went to the one or the other. So we may well have a much smaller crowd than came last year. However, we are still hoping for a large crowd, and we will be taking video footage. We'll see what we can get. We do have video footage from yesterday and photos, as some of you probably have already seen. Someone posted up last night, and hopefully I'll post those up on the bus home. A full video report of today's proceedings is not going to be possible within the next couple of days. I will attempt to make one when we get back from the trip, but that's likely to be 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, because we are driving straight home in the afternoon, about 6:30 today, after we're done here. Um, there are a lot of great stories that I will do my level best to make another log discussing, because they're truly inspiring to America, and people need to hear it, because the media is not going to tell you. They don't want you to hear it. They don't want you to know what's going on up here. They don't want you to know how united the United States can be when we need to be, and how truly conservative this country actually is, as opposed to what they want it to be. It is currently 7 o'clock in the morning. We are getting out of here in about half an hour, and I have got to get some coffee or I'm going to be dead on my feet today. It is also raining outside. We don't know how long it's going to last, but God willing, it will clear out. Otherwise, it's going to do some serious damage to the rally. But I don't see people having come and not going just because it rained. It's a long way to travel. But we'll see how everything goes. You'll be hearing from me shortly, hopefully. And let's hope and pray that today is as successful as the small rally yesterday, and that there are no incidents. And let's pray they're listening. Okay, there was one incident I have to tell you about because it was just too perfect. There was a motorcade that drove past us as we were rallying on the road after some of the 9/11 proceedings, and we were going to walk down to where the trees are between the Capitol and the Washington Monument. And we saw, me and a couple of the people that I'm hanging out with, and because most of the Georgia and Alabama Tea Parties were right there in that group, and we saw an armored car go by. So everyone paused and thought, motorcade. 2 more armored cars go by, and a big armored SUV. All of these are packed with armed men. They're just packed to the brim. Next SUV goes by. Two guys up front, 1 man in the back. No one knows for sure who he was, but because it was tinted and we could not see his face, but the physical description that I saw fit President Barack Obama. And it's known that he traveled along that route sometime today, because he did go to the Pentagon for a speech, and that route led straight to it. But as we saw the cars coming, everyone along the roadway lifted their signs, and I watched through the tent as the passenger, presumably the president, turned and scanned the signs as he went by. So, personally, he saw us, regardless of whether he wanted to or not. So, I thought that was pretty darn cool, and y'all might get a kick out of it. Anyway, there is an alarm going off somewhere, and there is coffee downstairs that is dying for me to take it out. So, I will get out of here and stop wasting y'all's time, and see all of y'all later.